clock, we be them champions. I got a drop, ball in the box, we be them champions. I'm repping the squad, badge on the top, we be the champions.
Yeah, so let's go for it now, right? Okay, that's great. Joe?
Yo.
Okay, keep going.
Yo,
Have you turned your microphone on?
Yeah, fam, these things are probably not working.
Yes, my people. We're back again. Third episode, Christmas edition. This is Chat with Champions, the official Champions Challenge campaign pod show. Got a special guest here today. Pro baller, left wing back, Brixton born, played in the Canadian Premier League. Can we please put your hands together for my G, Nathan Mavila?
What's going on?
All good, my G. How you feeling? You good?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
I'm all good, bro. Bit of a journey up here,
yeah? Bro, serious one, but it's cool, man. You know, I like to come on platforms like this.
Nah, bro, definitely. First things first, I want to thank you for coming down, for just making the effort and just connecting with us, you know.
Come on.
Obviously got to shout Maxi Ace as well. You know, he's behind the scenes, always doing all that. Got Corbs with us as well.
Easy.
Wouldn't be here with the sound if it weren't for my G.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But obviously we're gonna get into a lot more about yourself because I think there's a lot that I think we need to talk about. And I've watched your little clip of you on your YouTube thing and stuff like that, bro. And you're a baller still, so
you, bro.
I definitely want to get into what you like and what players you like. But first things first. Obviously, it's the Christmas edition. We're getting to the end of the year. It's been a mad year, up and down. I just wanted to just kind of talk about the first few minutes, just give some homage to the players that we've lost, especially in the last couple of months and that. I've got it down here as well. Obviously, Maradona, Paolo Rossi, Nobby Stiles, Doug Ragg, Jack Charlton, Papa Bouba Diop. Again, players that influenced some of our viewers that are a lot older than ourselves.
Sure.
But obviously, got to pay homage to them. World Cup winners in there, people that have made a real difference to football today. If you want to move forward, you've got to know your history. Wanted to touch on, obviously, for me personally, just watching the Prem and growing up, Papa Bouba Diop, and just what he did for African football, 2002 Senegal World Cup. Don't know if you were old enough to remember that, but I'm joking, G. But yeah, man. So yeah, just that kind of thing, and just really making a difference and being a good influence for the young G's growing up and putting African football on the map. Was a big thing. Diao, I remember the youth came, Liverpool, all them kind of ballers. So yeah, man, that's big. I just wanted to just definitely pay homage to them and shout them out with the RIP thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to show love to that, man. But yeah, talking about that and African football and that, I am I right in saying you're from DR Congo, yeah?
Yeah.
And born here, Brixton boy, yeah?
Yeah.
So right, who you choosing to play for, bro?
Congo, man.
Jeez.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I like that. Was it? I think is it Wan-Bissaka as well? I think is he playing for Congo
There's a lot,
now?
bro.
I
When you
believe
think
as well.
about it, obviously, the structure in Congo and African football it's not great. So luring players in top quality like Bissaka, it's tough. You got to think about it too. Like we've got long history and we've got a lot of players that didn't play. So players like Vincent Kompany,
Jeez.
Basingwa, Mulumbu, or he plays for us actually. Makelele. You got players like Mishi Bashwai. You got Origi, I think. He's Congolese. You know, you got so many players, especially that play for Belgium, that are Congolese. Lukaku, the other Lukaku. You got...
Yeah, 'cause he's got a brother as well.
Yeah,
I swear,
you got so many players. Even if you look into the French squad, Nzonzi. I
didn't even know there was this many. Fam.
You got so many players. Bissaka.
Raw.
Off the top of my head, I can't... Mandanda, the goalkeeper that plays for France. His brother plays for us, but he's obviously the best one, innit? That plays for France. Off the top of my head, that's about it. But, you know, we've got so many players, but the structure's not great. So I don't blame them, and I understand why they didn't at their time. But obviously now, African football's on the rise. The team's getting more structured. So
definitely.
Yeah, look forward to it, man.
Yeah, man. And it's been nice seeing them African players in the Premiership as well. And do you know what I mean? That's been a big look.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
In terms of you starting and you playing football, where did it all begin for you? Like, what was the first club you played for? When did you know? Yeah, like I want to be a baller. I want to play.
From young, you know, like I started off in primary school, obviously, and if you weren't playing football, then it's either you're studying, innit? So that's how it was when I grew up. You know, everyone was playing football. My older cousin, he was playing football, and he kind of inspired me. And obviously having like people around in my school, they were playing, innit? So obviously when I was young, I wasn't great, innit? But I just had that commitment, and I just loved it. And yeah, so I was playing in and around, I can't remember ages, but I know my year group, so around year 4. I obviously started playing, couldn't quite get into the school team. And then like year 5 sort of got in and around, and year 6 done really well. We won actually the school league.
Jeez.
And yeah, that was obviously my best times, and I was playing Sunday league for a team called Afewee Urban.
Yes,
That stands for, it's like it's for us in Patois, Afewee.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for
Afewee.
us. Yeah,
You know.
so-
Jeez, big dog.
Yeah, so obviously Stedman Scott and Tony Goldring, 2 guys that started it off. They lived, they were my neighbor. He was my neighbor, Stedman.
Okay.
And obviously I was in primary school, and I was playing with my brother, like just outside our house. And he just come up to us one time, and he goes to me, you guys are good, man. And he comes to me and he goes, yeah, you're going to be the baller. And he goes to my brother, you're going to be counting his money. And then, funnily enough, it turned out that way. You know, my brother's very, very talented. He helps me out, managing me a bit too. So he's doing his thing.
I
He
rate
manages
that.
a group
You
called
need
House
that
of
in,
Pharaohs.
need that in your corner. I rate that.
Yeah. So he knows, he's clued up. And obviously, yeah, that's how it started. So I was playing for them from around year 5, year 6 time, so around 9, 10, right up until I was about 13. Then at the same time, when I reached like year 7, year 8, I was started playing for my district, South London.
Okay.
Managed to captain them, and then the manager was actually the head scout at Wickham, and so we actually played Wickham, and I think 20 minutes in, the guy called me over and said, "Yeah, we want to sign you."
Jeez.
So it was good.
Jeez.
So we had a good team. We had a good team. And so signed for them when I turned 13. 12. Signed for them when I was 12.
Okay.
Played for them till I was about 16. Then the academy folded. Then kind of had to look around, and luckily I had a couple clubs in and around and looking. And then went to West Ham, signed for 4 years, and it was a good experience, bro.
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Nah, that's mad to hear, bro. Like, I mean, in terms of because did you get a professional contract? Was it at West Ham as well?
Yeah.
I mean, what did that feel like? Because I remember that in itself, like, people need to understand, is an achievement. Getting a professional contract at a pro club.
Yeah.
I remember when I trained at Arsenal for the year, and there was a particular day when we went down there, and I think this was the day when the players were just getting told whether they staying on or not.
Yeah.
And listen, it's a lot of mental pressure. Like, kids come out bawling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is what some people have been doing their whole life, and when
For
they're
sure.
8 or whatever. And
For sure.
do you know what I mean? So the people don't see that side of stuff. You know what I mean? They'll probably see, yo, man, got signed pro contracts and that, but it must have been a lot of work that you put into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It was mad, because growing up, it was eat, sleep, football. You know what I mean? Like,
love that.
luckily I had like the support of my parents in it, and like my dad especially. Like, he was on it to the point where it's like, if you don't even wash your boots, like, you're not playing the next day.
I rate that. That's that discipline.
So it was like serious discipline.
African
you know?
parents, bro.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, so it was like, he wanted to see how much you're committed, because he can't, like, he used to push me, but he can't push me if I'm not doing what I need to do in it. So it's like, get your stuff in check. And obviously making it, like, before you're pro, you have a scholarship, right? So, and from 16 to 18, and if you're lucky, and you know, you get your pro early. But I didn't manage to get that. I got my pro 2 years. So after my 2-year scholarship, and bro, I remember the day clearly, innit? Like, there's a little canteen, and my dad and the guy that was looking after me at the time was he come to the canteen, and they were like, "Oh, we're going into the meeting. Do you wanna come?" And I was scared. I was like, "Nah, I'm not coming in." So they went in, and I remember my dad came out, and he's like, "Ah, I don't know how to put it," kind of thing. And he told me I got it. And I was like, "Oh, really?" And then he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "I need to go to the toilet." Bro, I cried my eyes out, bro.
Seriously.
Like, it was one of those days where, like, it was, for me, one of the the biggest achievements I've ever achieved. You know what I mean? Like, I was crying for a good 10 minutes, bro. Like, just sat there, like, I couldn't believe it.
Bro. When it hits.
No, at the time, it was big for me, innit? It's milestones in football, innit?
Of course.
Once you achieve one thing, it's the next target. And for me, that was the biggest thing, because seeing a lot of people go for trials, have their scholarship and not get taken on. But for me, like, when I look back, sometimes I kind of overlook like the achievement.
Fam, it's a big one, man.
Yeah, no,
Big
for sure. And it hits home, especially when you hear other people speaking about it. You're like, because it happened to me, maybe I'm, but yeah, it was for me, like, at the time, my biggest achievement still.
Nah, I rate that, fam. Definitely, man. Getting into a few more bits, because I've done a little bit of research on you, know what I'm saying? Because you're pro and that. But I seen you play for Ballstone as well.
Yeah.
I think under 10s times Ballstone. I think everybody I know play for Ballstone, bro.
Yeah.
But I mean, seeing that there, obviously you've had a little spell in non-league. What would you say the big differences are? Like, obviously you got to grow up when you go into non-league as well, because them kind of them man kick you up in the air real quick if they can catch you. Because I've seen you on the left wing and that. But how did you find that? Was it a thing where you not wanted to go out there, but was it the best thing you reckon for your development, or do you think maybe if you'd stay in at West Ham and getting into that first team, like, what do you reckon?
So at the time, I remember Sam Allardyce was the manager, and that was my second year scholar. So I was 17, turning 18, and he was cool. He really liked me. He was cool. I often trained with them, and when I went first year pro, so my third year at West Ham, he got sacked, and they brought in Slaven Bilic.
Okay.
And so what happened was he was pretty cool too, very, very cool. But at the time it just wasn't my time.
Yeah.
And so I think at the end of my second year scholar, I went out to Wildstone, and literally I just went out there, and it was for me the best thing that could have happened to me, because number one, it was a good experience in terms of men's football. It's first time playing men's football, and it was good in terms of like being in an environment where it counts. So you're playing under 18s, under 21s football. At the time, it didn't mean nothing. Win, lose or draw, it's like do better and that's it. But I remember my first game for Wildstone, massive argument, and the players are literally fighting each other, bro. And I'm like, we're on the same team, and they're like, nah, like my man's playing like he wants us to lose, kind of thing. So it's like, it's real. People are playing for their mortgages, their lives, and everything. So you're like, now it kicks in, like football counts, like
it's not youth thing anymore, innit?
No. And I remember the manager, Gordon Bartlett, like he was there for about 20 something years, like big, good guy. Really, really trusted me, and he put me in straight away, and like he was a good guy. And for me, like, it's non-league is overlooked as a bad standard, isn't it? But for me, again, like, everyone's got their journey, and I feel like every step that I've taken, every path I've gone has been for me, and it's been right. Because had I not gone that way, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Of course.
So like, I feel like that was like a big step in me growing up, especially. And you know how to use your body more physically, making quicker decisions. So it was an all round good decision. Looking back at it.
Nah, I love that. I love that, bro. That's sick. And the fact that you look at it that way as well, because a lot of people go to non-league and they think that's kind of it, but it's hard to get back out of that again and go to bigger and better things in that sense, Obviously, seeing that you played in Canada as well, mad. I think even just talking to you now, I could tell like your mental strength is there. Just other people would have certain situations that you might have had and think this and that, but you just taken it, flipped it positive, carried on. I mean, even going out to play in Canada, a lot of English players, British players don't want to go abroad. Do you know what I mean? So just even seeing you do that and go Canada and play there. Because it's cool up there, Why? I just wanted to get a bit more insight into the differences there. Like, how did you cope with that transition? Because that's a big jump, like family, everything.
Nah, it was hard. Obviously, at the time, I remember I was giving up on football. Okay. I was literally gonna quit that year, and then what happened was. I had a call for Canada. I think it was in 2018. 2018. Yeah, 2018 November, October times. There was talks about a league starting up as the major league in Canada, and so I said, all right, like a team's interested, but you know, it is where it is. Canada so far, and the offer's not here yet. And so, I just enrolled into uni that September. Come November, I had the offer in Canada, and I was playing at Hampton and Richmond at the time, and I wasn't enjoying my football. I just said, look, like I'm just gonna study and pack it in, kind of thing. January come, and I left Hampton because I wasn't enjoying it, and I went to a team close to me, Dulwich Hamlet, and literally just enjoyed it. You know, like Gavin Rose, the manager, like good manager, Junior Caddy, the assistant. Like they had a good team, good support. It was like 5 minutes from my house, and I just enjoyed football again. And I remember I went to speak to my dad, and I was like, yeah, like there's a team in Canada, but I don't know if I want to go, like, and whatever. So he just said, look, you've been looking for opportunity, and opportunities come in different ways. So you can't just pick and choose when your opportunities come. You know, you've just got to take it and see and run with it, see where it takes you. So I said, all right, cool. Not too long after, the manager flew from Canada over to come and see me, and he had a couple of meetings, but he came to see me too. And we spoke, and it was good, and I just felt the energy and the vibe, and I was like, you know what? Like, I might as well just leave everything behind and just go for it, innit? Like, give it one last chance. If it don't work, at least I can say it didn't work, innit? But I just said, you know what? Let's go, innit? So February come, and signed there, and then I think it was March, April, I left, and I went, and obviously I come back late that year. So let's say November, I come back.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was for me the first season. I enjoyed it a lot because it was like regular football, getting my confidence back. You know, just not having the stress of the ends, so to say, not having the stress of like everyday life. It was just like focus on what you're good at and what you've worked
that
for.
That escapism.
Yeah,
almost.
It wasn't really an escape because
Okay.
I kind of class it as what I do, so it's a part of life. Same way like anyone's 9-to-5 job is a part of their life. You know what I mean? Like it's just life, innit? That's how I felt. That's how I feel my football is, innit?
It's your career, innit?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it was good, and second year for me was even better. Enjoyed it, got a couple goals and assists. So it was for me like one of the best experiences I've ever done. Obviously, getting out, seeing different parts of the world.
Yes.
Traveling to different cities in Canada, it was amazing. Managed to go to the Caribbean for the first time too from there. So it was very, very all round a good experience
in terms of life.
Just a quick one, Surgeon. So Nathan, like you see when you say, obviously, it's you see it as like a part of life.
Yeah.
Because most jobs, your everyday job, you go to work 9 to 5, whatever. You come home, you switch off, or you try to switch off.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more intense jobs, you're always working around the clock to a degree. But do you feel that being pro and in football, it's a lot more demanding, it's more intense, it's more of an everyday thing, and you don't get to switch off as much as you would do in another normal everyday 9 to 5 job?
Yeah,
say, or
it's subjective in the sense that some people do switch off in football, some people don't. The people that switch off kind of when they're done football, eat whatever, sleep whenever, do whatever. But the people that have football as a lifestyle, they have a bedtime, they have a diet, they have a psychologist, they have all these things. You know what I mean? So it's a job where it's every day, 7 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the better you play and the higher up you play, the more it's a lifestyle. So once what I figured out was playing in non-league, I could do whatever. But when I was in Canada, it's like it's demanding, and every day it's like every single day I've got to literally, like my bedtime was 10. I'm in bed 10:30. I'm in bed. You know, like I'm cooking for myself for the first time. So for me, it made me a man. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, I wasn't really cooking back then. You know, when I'm home, I'm in the comfort of my mum and dad. So I'm outside my comfort zone. You know, I'm literally in the middle of nowhere with I know no one. You know, and you just got new teammates. You just got to know and get along with because you're all on the same team, kind of thing. So it's one of those things where you just have to get on with it, and just see where it takes you.
No, for real, that's mad. I mean, even the culture change. I mean, that must have been. I swear, America, Canada. I know that's too different, but they love the English accent, innit?
Yeah. No, Canada they speak like UK guys a bit. I think Drake kind of changed it. Obviously, in Toronto, they speak more like the UK guys, so they say these mans are, you know. So it's different. In Calgary, where I was, it was a bit more. There wasn't much of the UK kind of
like
but
influence.
it was a bit more Canadian, a bit more cultural, and you know, there's a lot of Canadian people there. There were areas obviously where you have your black Asians and whatnot, but majority it was white.
Okay, cool. What was I gonna say in terms of what you're doing now, or what you want to do now? Like, if you're looking to not get back into the football, but are you still trying to play at that highest level? Are you thinking about playing in a Prem? Are you? Do you know what I mean? Watching that video, bro, I'm not just saying to gas you up. Like, it was, bro, you're good, fam. That left wing back kind of thing, getting up and down. You know what I'm saying? Left footed people there. Boop, boop. You get me? But yeah, like, what's the next steps? Like, what are you planning to do?
I want to test myself, man. You know, like I could have easily gone back to Canada and just said, you know what, yeah, I'll just rot here, basically. I'm not saying it's a bad level, because it's a very, very good level. For anyone that's wanting to go out there, it's a very, very good level. But as we know, Europe is a better standard, you know. And I just thought I want to test myself. So yeah, obviously, I want to be in and around Europe and do what I need to do. That's the reason why I left. I kind of want to test myself to the highest possible ability. Like, I still got things I want to achieve. I still want to play for my national team.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
that, for me, that's the next step. You know, I've played abroad. I've played in the UK. I've been at a Prem club. You know, I've done what I think I need to do. I just want to play for my national team, and I think that's it. I'm good. I'll be satisfied with what I've done. You know, the rest I can't control, so I can't worry about. But
Nah, definitely.
I just want to do what I can do to the best of my ability, and that's it.
Now, you've created put it this way, a great springboard for yourself, and so far in what you are going to be able to achieve in that, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Just the mentality, everything you're doing. Another thing I just wanted to touch on as well is you mentioned earlier about you studying and getting a degree.
Yeah.
Which I think is always good to point out with football players that still have an education, and it just shows people this thing here is, yeah, football, we do football and music, that's what we mainly love and stuff as well, but there is other things. I think was it to do the physio thing you want to maybe do or something?
No,
like
so
that?
I'm doing a sports science degree.
Okay.
But
yeah, got that.
It's a posh way of saying PE. But,
you know them ones.
Yeah.
You know.
but,
bro, man, just let us own that one, fam.
Yeah.
3 years of work there.
Yeah, no,
Bro.
it's tough, bro. It's tough. You know, you get to stages where you want to quit, but you can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I'm studying at the moment. Just trying to. At the time, as I said, like, I only started studying because I wanted to pack it in, and obviously my mum was pushing me to do it. So I was kind of doing it for her.
Same reason.
But yeah, but then at the same time, as you go along, you see like the benefits of why you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like the door opens to an educated man. So I just said, you know what? Like, let me just do this, get the 3 years out of the way, and then see where it takes me. And if by the end of the 3 years I'm still playing football, at least I've got something to take me on after I've finished.
100%.
So yeah, I'm doing the sports science degree, but more what I really want to get into is sports psychology. As we're seeing a lot of like young footballers, especially black footballers, committing suicide, young black men committing suicide.
Yes.
So-called ethnic minorities committing suicide, and we feel the pressures of this world because we're not born into wealth like that. You know what I mean? So we want to make it, and I feel for that young Manchester City kid because I was once in his shoes. You know what I mean? When I got released by West Ham, I was so depressed. Like, I felt what he went on to do, and so when you get to that stage, there's very little that can hold you back. Luckily for me, it was my faith, but there's very little that could have held him back. And I understood. It's not that I'm justifying and saying what he did was right, but at that moment in time, football's your God. And so if you're at that position where you're at the best club in the country and you get let go and all your dreams are shattered right in front of you, there's not many places you can turn to and confidently say, I'm struggling. Because your parents are looking at you like, it depends what kind of family you come from, but some families will look at you like a failure.
Yeah.
Some families will look at you and say, "I'll just take up another career," but it's what you want to do. So they're telling you to stop doing what you're doing so that you can do what they want you to do. You're looking at your social networks and your social friends, and you're looking at your families. You don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
But subconsciously in your mind, you're thinking that they're looking at you like,
You let them down.
I'm allowed to swear.
You do your thing.
Like you're shit. They're looking at you like you're shit. You know what I mean? And it's one of those ones where they look at you like that, and then it's like, okay, like in his mind, he's struggling to comprehend all these things, and at the same time, he's trying to make himself happy. At the same time, he's getting paid, so he's got bills to keep up. You know, even though he's 18, he must have taken on some sort of responsibilities that he can't no longer.
Yeah.
So now he's at a dead end where he thinks that it's the end of the road. And I think that that's where we need to step in, especially as black role models who have stepped into the professional game. Get your education or get some sort of qualification where you can help these young black and white players too, because they go through the same thing.
Of course, 100%.
And so that's what I want to do, and that's my end goal of my academics. That's what I really want to get into. But for now, obviously, I just want to get this first degree out of the way, then hopefully get into the next one.
Nah, bro. I
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
bro. Yeah, man. And that's the thing as well. It's the mentality of people, and that's why I love this show, and that's why we do this as well, because we bring people like you've lived it. You've been there. You've had the rejection. You know what I'm trying to say, and it's not nice. It's very difficult. People don't see that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People just see the people on the football players on the pitch and that. And I've heard that, oh yeah, they're just kicking the ball around. Like people don't see the pressures that it has. You know. So
And just on the flip side, like even the investment that some of the parents or whoever do put in, because when we were younger and mum and dad were taking us up and down academies left, right and centre, or training here and there, after work, cooking in between, looking after the other siblings, when it stops, it does feel like even their world comes crashing down to a degree, you know. So that pressure is immense, and you don't realize at the time because you're young or whatever. But it's some parents do live through their kids, or try to, if they never made it, or if they want the best for their child, or they know that their child could be the best thing that they've seen. So you know, there is a lot that goes into it, and I do agree. And yeah, man, you have to deep that fact.
Nah, definitely. And just on that point in terms of the whole psychology and just the whole mental side of things, and just, I don't know, obviously this year's been mad in terms of everything that's been happening, a lot of issues and stuff like that. And do you think football deals with issues like your mental health, like your racial allegations and stuff like that? Do you think we're behind? Do you think we're not dealing with it well enough? What do you think we can do?
The first one you said was the mental side. I don't think football deals with it enough. I remember coming through at West Ham and we had actually a psychologist, and I actually used to see him. I had no reason to see him, you know, but I just thought, like, I was so interested in it for some reason. I was just interested to see like what he would tell me. And there's certain things that he would tell me that I still use to today. And like he used to tell me stuff like, you know, imagery, like imagining, like when you're on the pitch, just walk on the pitch, imagine it, get yourself comfortable with that. And it's stuff I use in my day-to-day life too. So like therapy is not just when you're in trouble or when you need it. Therapy is just everyday life, someone to just help you and guide you, because they've been there. Whether it's in football or in life, they've been there. So they can help you in some aspects or not. And so there was some help there, but what I thought wasn't helpful was that he had never kicked a ball in his life. So there's help in some domain, but I can't really tell him everything because I know he won't be able to connect to me on that level. So I feel like there should be more players getting into that, but obviously it's subjective to who likes getting into stuff like that.
Of course.
And so yeah, I don't think there's not enough support. Is it the PFA's fault? I don't think so. I think it's the players who have been at the top level, who have been at any level, let's say. If you're so sympathetic and empathetic to those players who are struggling, then do what you need to do and go and help them. I can't call anyone out because everyone's got their life and run,
of course,
and their race to run. But that's why I feel like I have to do that, because I've been in that position, and I'm interested in that sort of stuff, so I can go help. The second point, in terms of racism, I don't think football has helped enough. Think about it. A player can't get a 5-match ban because he called someone the N-word. It's impossible. Do you know what I mean? That word was used to subsidize us from society, for us to be tools for people to use, for them to do their day-to-day work. And now you want to call me that word and just get a 5-match ban. Think about it. That's just a month. That's like him spraining his ankle and just coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he gets a 10K fine and he's on 50K a week.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up, you know? So for me, if you're saying someone calls me the N-word, for sure you've got to go through... for me, if you've got to think about it, it's a lack of education.
Yes.
So if a person calls you an N-word, it's because they don't know where and how deep that word is. So they need to go through, for me, 2-3 months of education. If they've completed that course on racism and on historical racism and systematic racism and all, then you can come back and play football. But I did not leave my house today as a footballer to come on the pitch and be called the N-word. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't have it. So for me, it's a lack of education. I feel that footballers footballers who are white that use that word, it's a lack of education, in my opinion. Again, when you look at the people who are in football at the top of these racial so-called companies and racial governing bodies, they're white people. A white man can't tell me how I should react. When someone calls me the N-word. You know what I mean? It's I messaged, I tweeted, kicked me out the other day. I said it's more than wristbands and warm-up t-shirts. You know, it's more than that. It's taking real action when something happens.
Yes.
Like, so that it deters someone from ever using that word again. You know what I mean? And not just from fear, but from education. Education is passed on. So then it's a knock-on effect in his family, and you've changed the whole generation.
Nah.
They'll never use that word again.
Nah, fam. I fully agree with you. The sanctions definitely are not good enough.
Yeah.
I think the sanctions are not good enough. I think leading up to that even happening, like you said, the education ain't good enough. I don't know if you've seen it. I was watching Anton Ferdinand's thing on BBC.
Not yet.
Bro, watch it. It's a bit... It's mad still. And just in terms of the amount of failings that happen. Yeah, and it's not even just in the football world. It's even when it goes to the magistrates court and all of that kind of jazz. You know what I'm trying to say? So I definitely, even like when Guy Neville was saying, we need education. We need more education. We definitely need more training in the sport. Do you know what I mean? What was your take on the whole PSG Basaksehir here thingy? Like when they all walked off, is that if that happened to you, is that where you're at now? That stage where it's just like boom, you're walking off the pitch, you're not playing.
I agree with all what they did, and I commend the white players for walking off with the black players.
Yes, 100%.
That shows that they're with them. And as a black player, if my teammates done that for me, I'd run through brick walls for them.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because they understand how much that hurts me. Do you know what I mean? How much it is, how what's the word I can use? How derogative that is. Do you know what I mean? How bad that is.
I think it's a good, again, like we said from the very first episode, it's a good versus evil thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing people need to understand as well. It's not a thing where we're trying to scare off people from other ethnic minorities and that. It's like when it came to the marches and all that stuff and that, it was people that were just against the injustices.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's, like you said, when we saw that, I think player power and having players like with the mentality like yourselves, like those players on that pitch, because sometimes it feels like these authorities, they're not budging. Do you know what I mean? How long do you have these issues for? Everybody says the same thing. This was happening back in 2020, it's still happening. So I definitely think now you got like people like your Sterlings and, do you know what I mean, your Rashfords, yourself, new generation.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are definitely really putting your foot down with certain things and you're really making a difference and you've got that mentality and you're influencing other people. But yeah, man, I mean, just to go into a few more things, in terms of just a bit more on the whole racial side. What's your take on the whole? Well, on taking the knee. I saw again back to your YouTube clip of your highlights.
Yeah.
You know this. People them go watch it honestly, because man's a baller. But you scored that goal.
Yeah.
Man saw that knee. Man saw that
Yeah.
fist. I was like, yeah, like it. And when you're watching it and you see it, like even when you see the players take the knee, like, okay, listen, it doesn't just stop there. We need a lot more. There needs to be, like we said, harsher sanctions, all these stuff. But when you see players do it, I don't know, like you feel like something's happening. You feel like it's not just, it doesn't just feel like any symbols and signs and that. It feels like it's the start of something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's such a powerful symbol.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, I know obviously you about the people then booing it.
Yeah.
And and stuff like that. Yeah, I think Millwall was as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Deeney said that. Deeney made a quote something about he doesn't care about the booing so much. He goes, the booing's not racist, but if people racially abuse the players and stuff, he's willing to walk off. But I mean, what's your take even on the booing? I mean, do you walk off from that? Do you carry on playing after that?
For me, I wouldn't boo. Sorry, I wouldn't walk off. From that, because, as I said, it's a lack of education. If I was to walk off in that instance, I know at the same time, look, it gives a bad message by them booing. It kind of says, we don't want you to stand up or speak up for yourselves. Get up and stop doing what you're doing. Stop your nonsense, kind of thing. But if I was to do that for every time someone booed, then, you know what I mean, I wouldn't play football for the rest of my life.
Yeah, for real.
But I'm more so on the people directly doing it. Obviously, there's ways we can stamp out from people subconsciously doing it, but you've got to deal with one issue after the other. You know what I mean? So the first issue is people directly doing it. Second issue is once you can figure out how people are directly doing it, then you'll figure out easily how people are subconsciously doing it. Subconsciously doing it is from booing. Easy example. And I loved what the culture chairman said. He said, if you're booing, never come back to my club and I'll refund your season ticket.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was powerful. Do you know what I mean? That was very powerful, because you got to understand, these clubs' histories, they're not just white players that got them out of trouble or financial issues or promotions and relegations. It was black players.
Of course.
A lot of black players helped them. And so if you're going to allow the booing, then you're basically saying all those people that done all that great work for your club, you're saying, yeah, whatever kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel like more chairmans like that needs to stand up. And yeah, man, the booing for me, as I said, I wouldn't walk off, but I'm very, especially in that sector, I'm very strongly opinionated. And if that ever happened, I would most definitely speak out on it.
Nah, I love that, man. I mean, that and again, that's what we touch on. That's why we're here and we talk about it. Again, it needs to go further. But I think us even having these conversations, because again, back to the Anton Ferdinand case and stuff like that, it when I was watching it, bro, it ate him up inside, the fact that he didn't speak out enough, you know, and that's not even to blame him. You can never blame him, because you don't know how people are going to react to certain situations and stuff like that, you know, but speaking out and having these conversations, and that's the thing is people need to understand is, listen, it's about learning, and we're all still learning. I'm still learning about certain things, you know what I mean? So it's just people, you need people to want to also learn as well. And that's where you have to get to the issue with the booing and stuff like that. People like that, bro, harsher sanctions, get them out of your club. I mean, and the clubs that aren't doing enough, man, we need to look at docking points and stuff like that. We need seriousness, you know, and having people, again, like yourself and people in these positions now that have a say and are doing stuff out there, bro, is actually amazing now. I'm not going to lie, I rate that.
Appreciate it.
In terms of, like, I just want to go back to when you, again, played in Canada and stuff like that. What was when you were actually playing, did you ever experience anything that was similar like that? Obviously, the cultures are different as well, but did you ever come across anything like that, or would you say it's a lot different playing in this country than to playing in Canada in terms of that kind of stuff?
I've never experienced it.
Okay.
But if I was to say it was going to happen somewhere, I would say it would happen in England more than Canada.
Okay.
Simply being because it's a new culture. Where I was in Canada, the national the sport that is the most popular out there was hockey, ice hockey.
Okay.
And then it was basketball. Debatable which one's top.
Okay.
And so out there when we had our first ever game, it was like the crowd was kind of cagey and they didn't know what to say or shout kind of thing. So it's a different culture. They call the manager by his first name over here. It's Gaffer, you know. They travel over there every game by plane simply because it's so big. The country is so big to the point where, you know, your nearest game is 3 hours by coach. You know, so that's the only game you travel by coach, and the rest is flying out by plane every 3 or 4 days. You know, so it kind of mashes up your recovery. You know, you're away so many days. You hardly see your house where you're living. So it was, in that sense, it's a big culture change. What else was there? It was very, very relaxed in comparison to the UK. In the UK, again, it's a new league. It's a new league.
Yes.
Very, very different, and you know, players coming from different cultures. We had players from South America. We had players from Europe. Players from North America. You know, we had players from all around the world. So it was everyone coming together and gelling, which worked very, very well. But yeah, massive culture change, man.
Nah, for real, I hear that, man. And that's the thing. I think a lot of it is to do with the fan bases as well. And listen, obviously, football's a reflection of society. Do you know what I mean? So that being said, when you see what's happening over here and stuff like that, again, it's a reflection of what is happening in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird one because I thought with not necessarily that it would happen. Okay, they're two different countries, but when you look at somewhere like America, where when you look at the issues they have there, it's a massive race issue and stuff they got there, and I would have thought like, does that spill over into Canada? Like, if I was to move out there, that would be something that kind of crosses my mind as well. Again, maybe I'm being a bit ignorant. They're two different countries. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, again, just admiring the fact that you went out there with all these things that would have been going through my mind. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because, listen, the UK is racist. Yeah. It's parts of it. Certain people. So I don't want to hear that it's not. But again, it's different to how it is in the US and them kind of places and just in different parts of the world. So, again, admiration for you to go out there and, and do that and play. Want to get more into just you playing again and just like your football and who you model yourself on. If you had to pick a player, no worries, my guys. But if you would like pick a player that you would model yourself on or want to be like, I'm not gonna lie, I watched your clips and the first thing I thought was Alphonso Davies. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, still the way you was dipping in that, I was like, yo, this guy, like, do you know what I mean? But what player would you model yourself on? What would you?
Ashley Cole, man.
Jeez.
I grew up on him. That was like number one. Ashley Cole, like, I never ever saw a person get past him. And if it was very, very hard, you know what I mean, to get past him. Or that was the only one in the game that you got, and that was it. On the ball, he was good. He wasn't the biggest. I'm not the biggest. But he was strong, commanding. Like, on the ball, he was very relaxed. Going forward, he was there. Good balls into the box. His Chelsea days, for me, arguably the best left-back England's ever seen.
I don't think he gets enough credit.
Nah, man. Nah. Because, you know, he doesn't do world-beating stuff like Roberto Carlos. Homage to him. He's, again, one of the greatest ever left-backs. But I feel like if you're going to put Roberto Carlos on that pedestal, put Ashley Cole on that pedestal. Yeah. Just because he's not Brazilian don't mean he's not good. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, Ashley Cole, for me, one of the best left-back ever, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah,
he had everything. He had
big statements, you know.
Listen, you give me a game, give me 5 games he played bad in, and I'll return that statement. 5 games.
Nah, I have to go and do my research. I don't think there is too.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I rate him still.
He was consistently good. Consistently. You know, and if you're going to be a footballer, you got to be consistent, right? And looking at him, I rarely saw him have a bad game. And he was like looking at him when growing up, I just need to be like him. And yeah, on the pitch anyway, and he was amazing, man.
You ain't gonna get into that one. The uncut version, blood. Yeah, for real. What was I gonna say? Next one. Just before we wrap up real soon, I just want to get a few more questions in terms of your football and stuff.
And the charities.
Yes, you will definitely get into that last little one because that's where you started playing football as well. But just a quick one in terms of where would you, if you had to pick a team now in the Prem that you think you would fit into nice or that you would enjoy playing in the most or whatever. Obviously, man's a United fan. Boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop. Corbs, you quiet over there, Joe. Yeah. yeah, nothing. But yeah, I mean, what team would you pick to play in as it stands from now to the rest of the season? If you could play left back or left wing back or whatever it is, which team would you pick?
Currently, one of my favourite players is Andy Robertson, and I think I'd play in the Liverpool team. I'm a United fan.
I know, real recognise real.
They have it's debatable about them buying, but they have the best wing back play, defensive play, like getting the fullbacks in and involved with the game. And I think them and Bayern have the best play. And so if you're going to pick a team in the Prem, for sure, it has to be Liverpool as a left back to play in.
Okay, and in the world?
In the world, yeah, it has to be Liverpool, man.
Still.
For the moment.
Okay, quick one. Okay, if it's not in the Prem, a team that's not in the Prem, but anywhere else.
Barca, man.
But gee,
Barca.
man, no.
Barca.
Bro, listen, bro, man, me and Ace Barca fans, fam. I'm
man.
not gonna lie. I don't know what's going on with the club now. But boy, I need to fix it quick, boy.
Yeah, for real.
I can't see Messi go to City, fam. I can't see that, blood.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, fam. Man, I can't be doing that.
It'll be mad.
But last little bits and pieces. Obviously, again, because we're here trying to educate people, just have discussions about things, and mainly the youth.
Yeah.
What was the club that you played for called again?
Afewee.
Yeah, Afewee.
Yeah.
How can I even forget that?
Yeah.
But could just to close off, just go into a bit more about that and what they're doing and their Instagram pages, all of that. Because again, I popped on there and I saw it as well. The youth, them are just, brother, they're so cute doing the balling and stuff like that. Like getting them from young, which is great, especially in the areas that we've grown up in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man, just touch on that a bit and what they do and stuff.
Yeah, so as I said, it was two guys who co-founded it called Stedman Scott, Tony Goldring. They started it, I think it was 23 years ago. And they obviously went through their troubles. If you type in Stedman Scott into YouTube, you'd hear a lot of his story. He went to prison. He had a troubled upbringing coming in to the UK. I think it was in the 80s, 70s, whenever it was. And he managed to witness both riots back then and riots that happened not too long ago. And after going to prison and coming out, he said, you know what, I need to change my life. And he got into football and started coaching kids, and he done some amazing stuff. Like there's a place called the Brixton Recreation Centre where he actually trained and where I started training with him. And they were going to knock it down to build estates in the middle of Brixton. He managed on his own with some work, obviously, with people around him, but to get it listed so that it never gets broken down because of the good work he's done.
Rate that.
He's done some amazing work. Apart from football, having teams from I think under 7s right up until under 12s, he's just started a new boxing gym where cruiserweight boxer Isaac Chamberlain trains.
Jeez.
He started a maths and English tutoring so that players who don't just it's not just about football but having an education. He's parted off into that sector too, and he's just an all-round great man for the community. A person who's really who really shows, like, especially he's very vocal about the social injustices to black people, and he says, look, this is what I'm doing, support me. I'm supporting my community, just support me and you will get results. I've seen people who were in gangs reform their life just because of football and just because of boxing. You might just say it's a sport, but it turns into a lifestyle and it creates discipline. For me, it was discipline football brought into my life. And without football, I have no discipline whatsoever because I knew certain things have to be done for me to get there, to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing it, then I won't get there. And so I had to sacrifice a lot growing up, especially time with friends, time with the wrong crowds, time with girls, times. And do you know what I mean? It's reality.
Yeah.
That what you have to do for you to get there. And luckily it paid off. And I have to give a lot of credit to him. You know, like he managed to get players who come through the academy, you know, who weren't at clubs, who were at clubs in the summer, a free membership in the gym. So, you know, you're looking after yourself.
Yeah,
and he
man.
doesn't even ask for a single penny. You know, he just wants you to prosper and for you to put his name on the map so that he can help other players
People.
and get funding for more people to turn their lives around.
I love that.
You know, so he's an amazing guy. As well, he's his partner Tony Goldring, who takes the teams himself and they overlook and really push the players to reach their potential. You know, they're amazing people. And you know, if you wish to donate or help and you know want to support them,
100%.
for sure, check out Afewee Boxing, and I think they've got Afewee Football on YouTube, Twitter, not YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I think they're on Facebook too. If anything, we will leave the stuff in the description.
Yeah,
if that's
100%,
cool.
bro. Descriptions, we'll have
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just flat, probably here or something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
editor do all that jazz.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Bro, just could we have one more round of applause for that? I feel we. Yeah, 100%. We'll be linking up.
For sure,
100%.
man,
We'll
for
be
sure.
doing our bit. We'll be working alongside you guys. We'd love to get involved.
Defo, man. Defo.
Because yeah, man, and that's what this is about. It's about making the change and putting people like, you know, the Afewee Club and on the map and not on the map because they're already there, but giving them their homage and
Yeah.
giving them their dues. And
Yeah.
people need to know about this. People need to know that there's people out there doing these things. You know what I'm trying to say? And they're making a difference. And now is needed more than ever.
Yeah.
More than ever. So we're gonna keep going. You get me? Nathan's gonna keep going.
100.
You know, obviously we're right behind you. We're watching everything that you're
Appreciate
doing,
it,
bro.
bro.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Anything you need, get at us.
Sure. Appreciate it.
But yeah, man. I mean, bro. I mean, on that note, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Again, this is the Christmas edition, so Merry Christmas, guys. We'll probably see you in the new year, so have a happy new year as well. Stay
Yeah.
safe, stay blessed, and yeah, man. Don't drink too much.
Just a quick one.
Yes,
I want
yes.
to big you lot up on your channel. For sure, like I like supporting channels like this because if we support each other, we'll all get there one day, innit? And I just want to encourage you, man, to keep doing what you're doing. It's an amazing thing that you lot are doing. You lot are starting it from nothing, and you never know where it can take you. So, you know, I just really want you to push because you're going to inspire someone else that's coming up, and then they're going to look up to you, and it's going to be a knock-on effect. And that's how we can build wealth in our community. So keep doing what you're doing.
Love to
And for
see,
sure, man,
bro.
anytime you like want me to come on and help, need my resources, for sure, I help you guys,
Bro,
man.
that's the
Keep doing what you're doing,
man.
bro.
On that note, it's a wrap, guys, man. See you in the new year.
Blessings.
Straight to the top, moving like clock, we be them champions. I got a draw, ball in the box, we be them champions. I'm repping the squad, badge on the top, we be the champions. Getting them gone, I'm back on the up, just like a champion. Straight to the top, moving like clock, we be them champions. I got a draw, ball in the box, we be them champions. I'm repping the squad, badge on the top, we be the champions. Getting them gone, I'm back on the up, just like a champion. See the way that I manage this team. Always getting hella messy out here. See the way that we damage your team. Always getting hella techie out here. See the way we dismantle your team. On the field, we just bang on the green. You might